Hi everybody, Angie here. Coming on to do a little crafting with you guys. I been working on some ephemera pieces and it got me to thinking. I've been really big on, well, I love to do like specimen cards and stuff, and I've been doing a lot of those, mostly off camera. But I can't get enough of specimen cards, and I'm sure you guys are the same way. They're just so fun. They're just fun to make. And I pulled out my laminator. So that's what led to this craft with me today. When is the last time we used our beautiful, fun, ever so precious laminator? I'm going to turn it on while I'm talking. And along those lines of specimen cards, we're not necessarily doing specimen cards today. That's not what I'm really crafting. But along those lines, I have a whole stack of wax paper sheets. And I'm sure everybody's familiar, very delicate. Fun to work with because you get the crinkly sound. But wax paper, you've got that wax on them, so there's kind of limited as far as what you can do with them. So along the lines of mixing wax paper and my laminating machine, it got me to thinking, and kind of along the line of like doing specimens, that kind of thing. I got to thinking that why not do some laminating on this wax paper and get a nice pretty image with that. So I started playing around and it came out fairly well, I thought. So I thought maybe you guys might want to see my process, and it might inspire you guys to break out that laminating machine and do some playing for yourself. Okay, so this is, let me grab it. These sheets are double. I've cut it down because I've done a few. So this extra piece I thought I'd save to do with you guys. Everybody's familiar with laminating, but what I was doing is just using some ink, and I do, even though this is a wax paper, I don't really think anything will stay on here really well without smudging. So any type of ink that you use, if you're using a wax paper or like a deli paper, even probably vellum, rice paper, all those types of papers, they have a little bit of a, you know, I don't feel real confident about stamping on them and it not smudging. So be very careful. I do suggest, if you have Stays-On ink, to use Stays-On permanent ink. I do have one brand new, just broke it out this month, and it was dried out. I don't have my receipt, so I can't take it back. So for this particular video, all I have to use is my black soot. And it's been working fine as long as I'm really careful not to smudge my image of what I stamp. Okay? So with that being said, that's what I'm using today. And all I'm doing is grabbing and pulling out my smaller stamps. And if you have a theme that you want to go with, you can do that, or whatever floats your boat, whatever you feel, you know, whatever your vibe is that day, just work with those stamps. So you're pulling out your stamps, you're pulling out like your waxed vellum, deli papers, and you're pulling out your laminating machine and just playing. Okay, so I pulled out some stamps, and these are just a whole bunch. There's, you know, I'm thinking about doing and slowly working on my botanicals journal. So again, all this kind of ties into one another. So I pulled these out, so let's see which one we want to play with. I used those. Let's try something different. Let's do these ones. So all I was doing was getting one, like maybe for a focal point, and then layering them. So I had some word stamps. I grabbed out a couple word stamps and just this and that, and doing some stamp layering. Okay, so that's kind of, well, we could use that. And I'm just going to do 3. And then we're going to get into the fun part. So just go as light or dark as you want. And like I said, I'm layering, so I'm building on my stamping. So I'm just going to lightly maybe do one of those. Maybe we'll do one of these. And we'll come to this corner. And I'll do one of these. Okay, so that'll be 3. Okay. And then we're going to get another stamp, and you can see just that little short amount of time my fingers are destroyed. So then maybe we want to, we said we were going to use this one, didn't I? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well, in good spirits. I'm doing good. Okay, and then just kind of layer 2 or 3 stamps together and kind of, and like I said, this is wax paper, so I have to be really careful not to touch the areas that I've previously stamped because it will smudge on me. I like this one. So let's do this one. Now I'm going to ink this one up quite a bit because I want it to be darker. And I just went lightly with the first layer. So I'll go a little heavier with this one, and let's say we'll use this one right over this. Now when you're doing your layering, do take into consideration how big you want your element to be. See, like this one, I'm using my grid. We're looking at about 3 inches, my baby 4 inches. Okay, so let's do a different one. So kind of keep that in mind, because you don't want to spread your pieces out too far and then you have a really huge piece, unless that's what you're going for. So just kind of be considerate of that. Here's one. Let's try this. Let's just put this one right here. There we go. And then let's do this one. Now you can just do stamping. I want to kind of put them in different positions, each one, so each one have a little bit of a different look. You know, now you got to run this through your laminating machine, so that's why I thought of stamping, because it's flat and it seals the color into the wax paper. But if you wanted to have a little pop of something, you could use some washi stickers, you know, transparent stickers, those types of things, because they're flat and you'll still be able to get the piece through your laminating machine. On a couple of ones previously I used some digital, like labels, word elements you might want to use. You might want to bring in some small little, like, let's see, what do I have here? Little, I got to move this out of my way, excuse me. The little Tim Holtz bits and pieces. You know, anything that's kind of small and flat that might complement your piece, you might want to bring it in. Maybe, might want to put that right there. Maybe we want to put a butterfly. Put a butterfly right there. And maybe that little element there. Okay? So we'll do those. All right. Put everything back. Okay, so those are pieces right there. Okay, so then we want to cut them down, and you can see my grid marks on my mat. So I just want to cut my pieces nice and straight and evenly, and see where I want to go with that. So let's see, I'm going to cut this one right down here. And then let's see. Cut this one down. Oops. About there. Okay. And all I'm using, depends on what size laminating sheets that you have. I am using some little 4x6, or yeah, 4.5 by 6 1/4. There's some sheets that I have, so I'm just trying to use some of those up. So I'm trying to relatively keep them down to where I can fit them in there. But if you have the full size, you know, 8.5 by 11 sheets, you could definitely go and make your pieces much larger if you chose to. And this is where you have to kind of be a little delicate. Like I said, you can smudge your image, so I'm trying to be really careful not to do that. But I want to get a nice straight piece, whether it be square or, I just think my preference, it just looks a little bit better and neater when we put it into the laminating sheet. So that'll be one. And I might not be getting it exactly perfect, but when we're finished, I think they turn out really, really adorable. So it's something that you might like. Something that you maybe haven't thought about trying. This one's going to be a little bit larger. You know, and if you wanted to keep that, you know, like a designer element edge, you can bring in your special cut scissors, you know, the edged scissors that, you know, we all seem to have in our arsenal of craft supplies, and do that. But I think I prefer a straight edge on these. Okay, so we've got those cut down to a size I think that I might like. Okay, and this is just for a little pop of interest. You don't have to do this, or add in a little sticker, something like that might be nice. Okay, so then we want to put it in our laminating sheet. And again, I need to be careful not to smudge my image, my stamped image. Get everything in position where you want it. And I think those little pieces just add a little interest. See, look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay. And this one might be too big to fit in here. Might have to cut this down. We're going to have to cut this one down a little bit more for it to fit in here. So we'll tuck off a 1/2 inch about. Hopefully that'll do it. And it will. Okay. Position that right about there. Okay, so we're going to put that through the machine just like that. We'll go ahead and leave this one off because I need to make one more so I can get 2 in each sheet so I don't waste, okay? Try not to waste when I can. I've got my machine nice and hot. We've all laminated before, but I'll go ahead and just run this one through. And I have some already, already ran through the machine and cut down and trimmed off for to save on time. Okay. And of course, you know to always run pieces through your laminating machine, starting with the fold first. Okay, this fold edge, you always put that piece into your machine first so you don't get any buckles, and it presses out all the air and gets you a good seal on your piece. Look at that, guys. Isn't that nice? Another tip, just in case you might need it, I think we all tend to grab it right away. Always just let it lay flat somewhere for a good few seconds. I think we tend to grab it and then your piece kind of gets a little warpy. So leave it just sit for a good 30 seconds before you start fiddling with it and cutting it down and trimming it up. At least I find that that helps me. So when I'm working with my laminating pieces. Okay, well I had pulled out quite a few bit of stamps, but we don't need all those. Okay, so then when we're done, see it's nice and cool, now we're ready to work with it. But isn't that pretty? I got one upside down, but once we cut them down, they'll be fine, okay? Just cut them down, leave yourself a good 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch, whatever you want, all the way around, and they're ready to work with. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna bring in the ones that I already have done. Okay, and here's some that I have done the exact same way. Okay, this one I just used a sunflower, little word stamp, stamped it in the sunflower right in the middle, and I brought in one of the Tim Holtz little pieces there. This one was 3 or 4 stamps, a background, I brought in a butterfly, a little daisy I guess that is, another little worded stamp, and then the word garden. Okay, same with that one. I don't know how well the camera's on my mat there. Okay, there's another one. Same stamped pieces, but just stamped in different positions to give it a little bit of a different feel to them. Okay, and then here's a couple that I did. On this one, I brought in a couple die cut pieces, a colorful butterfly, and a little doily element on this one. And instead, I used the word trust. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but if you could see, I smudged that one a little bit. But there's always a way around that. You know, us crafters, we can build on top of this, which is what I'm going to talk about next, and maybe just put something over that if it's really bothersome to you. Okay, and then here's one. I brought in a little word element and a label, and I just used a piece of the label. But I thought that was really nice as well. So there's a little bit of variety. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some ones that I've already got completed, and then we'll do a couple together. Put those aside. Okay. All right. Now, when I was putting these together, it got me to thinking of one, like a specimen card type aspect to it. We can, you know, put a border around it, put specimen, documented, whatever, number, label number, and stick it in our journal that way. But then I was like, let's do it this way. Here's a few different ways, actually. This one I did as like a layered piece, okay? I have some beautiful trim that was gifted to me, and I love using that. Again, thank you. Thank you, Linda. I brought in one here that I stamped, and I just used a couple different leaves with the butterfly. I put over the top, now I didn't put this on the inside. This was once I laminated it, I put this label number, and then I stamped on some canvas fabric that I had, and I just put all the 3 together with a little eyelet. But I thought that was just adorable, and that would be cute, say, you bring in a bulb pin or a safety pin or whatever type of pin that you choose. I just grab in this because it's gold and I have a gold eyelet on here. And just pin that to your journal. Wouldn't that be darling? You know, you might have a trimmed page, a ruffled page, and just clip it, or to the front of your journal, to the edge of a pocket or a side tuck, anything. Isn't that just pretty? Okay, so there's one that I did. Now this one, kind of the same concept. I layered it, except I did it with paper. I did decorative scrapbooking paper on the back, nice sturdy piece. And since I left the wax papered edge, see the little zigzag edge there? I left that, so I went with that theme all the way through it. I did a zigzag edge, can you see that? With my scissors over the plastic. I did a zigzag edge on my lace trim, but it's so delicate you can't really tell. And I staggered them. And then I did a zigzag edge on the bottom of my scrapbooking paper, okay? I put a couple flat back pearls on the outside, and before I sealed it on this one, I put a couple die cut hearts on that. And I thought, you know, a little bit of blue to accent the blue on the paper, and then just that one just because it had a worded element on there. And then just to make everything pop, I thought I'd do the white eyelets with a few white flat back pearls just to tie in from the lace trim in the middle. But I thought that, again, would be really cute. Just tuck that right in a pocket, and you've got some layered elements. Just really pretty. Got plenty of room on the back for journaling. If you want to ink it up, put a little more stamping on the back, you could do so. Totally up to you. But that's another idea that way. And then this cutie patootie. Now this one is a little bit larger, and I did that way specifically, purposefully, should I say, because this one is what I want to do. I want to put it down as a pocket. And all I did was I did a big one. I cut out a piece of the same scrapbooking paper on the back, and I just put the two pieces together, reinforcing it with glue, of course, but this is just washi tape. And I put a Tim Holtz doll in there with the word hope. Isn't that just darling? And my intentions for that, and I grab my journal so I can show you. I don't know if I'm going to put it in this one per se, but I don't think I have a blue page in here. I don't know. Let's see. Where do I want to put it? If I were to put it in here, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll use this page because it's blank. My intentions is to put it down on a page like this, okay? Glue it down 3 sides, have a side tuck pocket on the outer side here, and then just have a flip element, okay? And then whatever page I put it down on, then I'll have it coordinate with this page, and I'll bring in some added elements for beautification and decorate and do a little light collaging or something on here, so then when you flip it up, you have something additional pretty to look at. But that, right, just like that, looks really nice. And if I were choosing to, you know, get my journaling card or my tag, tuck that in, and then just put a little ruffled piece of trim right there to coordinate and tie in that blue, or pull a color from this page, whatever, and have a little ruffled edge there for a tab pull. That would look really cute. That's my plan. Once I decide what page it's going to go on, then I'll do the journaling card and the little tab pull and have it match. Or if you wanted to, you can do it this way, you know, and glue it down on this 3 sides and have your pocket come from the top. Totally up to you. But isn't that pretty? Okay, so enough of that chitter chatter. So there's a few different ideas. Okay, just have it as a little dangle, attach it to a page, front of a journal, anywhere you want. Okay, do some layering, tuck it in a pocket, or put it down as a pocket and just have an extra flip out. But look at it, still looks nice and clean and pretty on the back side as well. So I really like that. I really like that concept. Okay, so here's the ones we got done. Let's see. Let's try and do these, at least maybe these ones if we have time, since they've already gotten started. Okay, I did want to do one. Let me see what I have in my recycling bag. A piece of green. Yellow would look really nice because that would bring out that little bit of hint of light color on the mushrooms. And since sunflowers are yellow, if I had a piece of yellow scrapbooking paper, that would be really ideal. And always save these from your packaging because they work really well for this type of project also. So I always keep all the backs of my sticker packets and such. Tell me that won't make a beautiful card. Cover that with some coffee dyed paper. That's for another day though. Getting off track here, guys. Let me see. Thought I had one. Oh, this would be nice. See, that's what I was looking for. Because it's got the black and white, and it's got the herbs and the leaves and stuff, and that's botanical kind of thing, and that's just what we're working with. So maybe this one. It's almost the exact size. Okay, so let's cut that down. I love when we can upcycle pieces and reuse them. Okay, so that's pretty, right? Just like that. And then we'll put something on the back of here for journaling. And I don't have any comfy dyed paper near me. Let me grab some. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, you got a piece here. Put that right down. Trim it up. If you want to round your corners, you can round your corners. I'm going to keep mine square just so everything, which one was I working with? This one? Just so everything is kind of balanced. Totally up to you. But yeah, I've just been really on this kick of layering pieces, and I mean that looks nice just by itself. Just have those two pieces attached, maybe with a excuse me, eyelet or a grommet of some sort, a little brad, and look at that. Look how pretty that is. Just, you know what, I'm gonna leave it just like that. I think I have a brad here actually. It's a gold one, but you know what, I don't even mind it. Let's do it. I'm gonna grab my puncher here, put these two pieces together. I'm gonna put it on 1/8. And it just really goes to show it doesn't take much just to make something look really, really pretty. Look at that. Now these prongs are kind of long, so I'm going to try to bend them sideways. There we go. Look at that. We've got an interactive piece. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We don't have to do any inking. We don't have to do anything. But if you wanted to, let's see, where's my black? Since we're going with black, maybe bring a little hint of black around the edges here. I might have to trim down those and glue those prongs down, because I think that would end up eventually bothering me. And it might get caught on other pieces if you have multiple pieces in your pockets. So just be aware of that as well if you use these type of brads. I think that's what you call that, a brad, isn't it? Okay, but look how easy that was, guys. But look what beautiness we have. Look at that. I love it. They go with each other. I love it. We're going to leave that one just as is. So then I've got this piece. And I'm thinking, so it doesn't go to waste, why not? They don't have to be the exact same size. This one can lay over the top, and then we can have something else over the top of that. So let's see, I'm trying to think here. Let's back this. I have to be careful, I have ink all over my fingers. Just do some layering. Make yourself some cute little dangles. I have over here that I grabbed some little bits and pieces. I have a piece of, what is this? Burlap. I have some felt. And these were just a couple pieces that I had scraps laying around. I mean, we can do something like, since we're going with the black, maybe something like this. Straighten up that edge. Or we could save this one for that one maybe. On this one I'm thinking, since it's so dark, let's bring in something light, like maybe a piece of ribbon or lace or trim. I have here, I don't know about that, but something for texture. Maybe we want to bring in a piece of this burlap. I don't know. That kind of ties in with that. What do you think about that, guys? Nice little textured piece. Let's do that. We'll make this one just a little bit bigger. Okay. Try and straighten up that edge just a little bit. Leaves all those little fibers working with burlap though. See all these little fibers? Gets everywhere. Okay, but I think that's really pretty for texture. We've got light, we've got dark, and then kind of light again. And look how pretty that is. If your sewing machine can handle it, you might want to do a sewing stitch, maybe a zigzag stitch across. I'm thinking another eyelet, but this is pretty thick, and all I have with me are the small. Let me see if I have any bigger ones than that. I don't know if I have any here. I have these brads. That would look neat. Put one of these on there. Let me see if I have any bigger brads though. Purple. Here's a black one. But I think I'd need two for that. Well, one might work. We'll try it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We will give it a shot. Let's see. We're just crafting, having a little play, a little fun anyway, right? It's just kind of thick. And just, it should go through. If you look, once we squeeze it down, I think it'll be okay. Okay, so let's get our positioning right. We're going to do our hole first. And for this one, we need the bigger hole. So we're going to go to 3/16. And let me see where the middle is, right about there. I'm just going to guess. And down we go. And we move our piece over. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 hands for that. Yeah, it's kind of thick, but I think we'll make it. That burlap is a little thick. Okay. Move that over, make sure I've got it on the right Okay. Let's see if this is going to go through. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope for the best. Stand up. And there we go. And it went through. Not too bad. It's kind of cute, huh? I kind of got it off-centered off of there. So what I'm going to do, that's going to probably bother me. More showing on the black than the left side. So I'm going to trim just a piece of that off. See if that helps. Because I want the burlap to show all the way around. That's a little better. There we go. So see how cute that is, and just tuck that into a pocket. Okay, just for something cute and some textural pieces and just something really pretty. Isn't that nice? I like it. Okay, so what can we do with this one? Well, I've got this green piece of, and look at that. Maybe the lace on this one? What do you think? I have this. This might be too wide though. Or maybe we just want a piece of dangle. No, that's too wide. Okay, let's see. I think this one's almost that. Let's do that. And what I'm thinking is we glue it down. Temporarily, I'm going to go through with my sewing machine and I'm going to run a stitch right across there. But for temporary purposes, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to use some glue and I'm going to bring in my glossy accents because that works really well. It's got immediate hold and it works good when you're working with plastics and fabrics and different things like that. Okay, get that down. Don't need a lot, because like I said, I'm going to go over it with my sewing machine. Just some really cute, fun, textured pieces to throw into your journals. Oops, look at that. It's moving on me, guys. Let's see. There we go. Okay, let me get that again. Okay. Bring my clips in till that grabs a hold. Okay. We didn't use this one after all. But these would also be great just to tuck in a pocket, just as is, just for a fun piece of something, maybe a journal that you're giving away, maybe a journal that you're selling, just a piece they can do something with. You know, oh wow, and it might spark some interest and they might have an idea of their own, of something that they want to work with, okay? But if you wanted to do a dangle, you might want to just do a piece of, maybe a piece of that. And now we can bring in that thicker lace maybe. don't know. Let's see. You know, and just have kind of like a swatch and just different textured pieces. I think that would be really, really pretty. You know, you may not want to secure them. Maybe you just want to put them with a paper clip or a bulldog clip or something like that and tuck it into a pocket that way. That's another idea. But I think they're so much fun any way you do it. Okay, so I think I've given you a few ideas to kind of get the ideas flowing. Okay, do them like, oh, you know what? I did not trim this one. It could be the front cover of a little notepad. Let me see, do we have time? We may have time. We can get one of those done. Let's see. I have this piece of scrap paper. I'm going to bring up my cutter here real quick. And let's cut a few pieces of paper the size of our I'm going to go a little bit shorter. And let's see, say we want to do something like this. I'm trying to just be careful. I'm trying not to get the ink on off of my fingers onto my paper. Why don't I just grab a baby wipe and wipe my fingers off. Pardon me for a second. Okay, now I feel a little bit better. All right, so now let's trim that up. And this would just be 4 pieces, but you could do more. You get the idea. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas of different ways to use them. Okay, so since this is rounded, let's go ahead and round the corners of our paper as well. We want everything to be uniform. Okay. And just for sake of video, it's just a little notebook. We're just going to run a little teeny, a little bit of glue right there. Since it's only 2 pieces of paper, I think we could get away with it. Okay. Just like that. Now, if it was any more, I'd go ahead and just stitch it in or sew it in. But 2 pieces of paper, I think we're fine. Okay, and then maybe put a piece of washi for a spine. And I can use some of my pretty washi that was gifted to me by one of my subbies. How about this? This is colorful and pretty. Let's take a piece of that. That's nice. Oh yeah. Okay, this is washi, so we do have to reinforce it with a secondary glue so it doesn't come up. Okay. And just use that as a guide. And look at that, guys. Cute little notepad. Cute, cute, cute. You know, if we wanted to go further, we could add a little something on there. Let me see if I have anything in my stickers here that might bring out some of these colors. You could do a mushroom. It's kind of big. Maybe that leaf. I like that leaf. We'll bring a little ink to the edges. You could bring in a little piece of fabric. You know, we all have little scraps of fabric. Totally, totally up to you guys. But look at that. I think that's really darling. And we're just using bits and pieces here, guys. Repurposing packaging paper, bringing out elements in our machine, which I'm sure if you're anything like me, we love, love, love our laminating machine, but we just don't pull it out enough. Am I right, guys? Come on. Am I right? All right, let me get some of this out of our way, and I'm going to bring the pieces back in that we got done. I'm really pleased with them, I must say. Okay, we did this one together, we did this one together, and we did that one together. Okay, and here are all the other ones. And I think this one, we did this one together. Oh, but it's stuck to my clip there. But I'm going to stitch over that one, and I'll trim up the edges. Okay, look at there's those. I'm going to run a stitch across that one, and here's the ones I did off camera. And another idea, guys, like say, ooh, you know what you could do? Here's the ones we did off camera. Some more. I am just having a ball with these. Okay, and here's the big one. Hopefully I'm getting all these in frame. Okay, another thing that you can do real quick, add a piece of paper to the back of one of these blank ones, and I don't have a piece. Let me see if I can do it real quick, guys, for you. I'm going to bring in a piece of my recycled paper. Okay, we're going to do this one real quick. I'm not going to keep this one. I'm just showing you for purpose real quick before we have to say goodbye. Okay, throw a piece of washi across here. I have green. I don't have any green washi. Let's see. I don't have any green washi near me. I'm going to use this, but I'm going to remove it when I'm off camera. Okay, put that across. Attach your decorative paper to the back, like so. Trim it up, and it will go on your journal as an over-the-page tuck, like so. And then you can decorate the back side according to whatever side paper page that falls on, okay? So like say for instance, we're putting it on here. Oh, and this just happens to have purple. So that worked out a little bit well, but look at that. Isn't that cute? And then it just hangs over the page like so. And then depending what's on this side, you would decorate and bring in colors to complement that side. Okay? And then it can be removed and put on a different page if you wanted. Okay? Maybe we want to put it on this page. You know, I don't know, but you know, you might want to put it on that page. And then again, you'll decorate this side to coordinate with that page. Okay? So that was just another last minute idea. And I think I'm going to do that with one of these, but I'm just not going to do it with this particular set of papers and washi tape. Okay? So there's several ideas for you guys. I hope I wasn't too all over the place. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to bring out your laminating machine and just have a play and do some fun ephemera pieces. If you found it somewhat interesting and you enjoyed the process here today, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, leave me a like and a comment down below. And until next time, guys, I will see you on the next video. Take care. God bless. I appreciate you all. Bye-bye.